Hey folks, and welcome to the Pipnotic Symposium for the 2nd of February 2021. As promised, a video on the Euro-Swiss franc. So the Euro-Swiss franc, if we look on the big time frame, let's just go to the daily because it looks pretty messy on the weekly, and the monthly because of this horrible bar. If we zoom that out, maybe we can see something. But as you can see, we're clearly moving lower. We have began to react at some price levels down here. Actually, I've already marked those off. This area of demand, tested, so the buy zone was here. Price went a little bit deeper into this area here, and now we seem to be moving north from there, and we've tested this area of supply, which is responsible for moving this just here, which was tested by this little extended period of monthly distribution, and price retrace. But now we're starting to form these higher lows, which is giving us an indication this may move higher. So moving on the smaller time frames, if we have a look at this, let's try and make sense of what we can see here. So going back to the traditional supply and demand theory, or more the buy and the sell zone theory, which is what I like to call it because it's more accurate in my optic. I mean, you have areas where price has respected certain levels historically, and you can see we have a big one here. It's going to mark off this whole area here. Okay, and we want to find these areas where price respected an area and then breached the area. You can see it was respected here, and then the area that moved through it is here. It's right here. It's kind of an ugly one. And now this one has been tested many times, and then price finally moved through it. So what area did it? Well, it's something down in here. Let's just mark it off like that. Okay, this is just a robot trade which got pulled in, and it got pulled in because of the cycle had ended at around the edge of this sell zone here for this area of supply, which removed this demand. Let these rectangles update. There we are. So we had this area here with price tested once, twice. Price finally cut through it, but the origin of the move that cut through it, it's not here. Price had to go all the way up here to attract sellers to move price down. So this one is now gone. This is the area that caused price to move through it. So this is the one that we would trade, and the robot found that beautifully. It doesn't always happen like that, but in this case it did. And so, I mean, for the time being, I think longer term we can see maybe the euro Swiss franc moving higher into that weekly area of supply, but eventually that'll wean out. And if we look here, you can see that we're in a pretty strong kind of uptrend, but we do have a couple of areas that we could expect price to react at, but we have to do our analysis properly. So let's find areas breaching other areas, and we have this area here, which was tested quite a few times and is still valid because it has not yet been breached. It's been tested quite a lot. Price fed into it several times, but it's still there, and until it's been removed, we can expect that we could sell. Okay, and then we have other areas below price. I mean, we have this one here, and this is interesting to us because if we just do it properly, we had this area here. When price left here, we managed to move below this low here. It was tested. Let's see here. Several times, once, twice, and these ones went through it, but we did not trade beyond it. This candle traded beyond it. The origin of that candle is in here. So this is where we would buy. Price tested that, and price has not been back. And so we have a parent, we have a child, we have the buy zone just here into that child. Price will likely move down into this one here, but for this area of demand, we have the buy zone, which is the deepest retracement into this area. Okay, so yeah, we'll have to see what happens, but we have this area down here. This is just a reaction to the upper edge of this area of child demand. We also have something in here which we can't see on this time frame. I'll just move this line up here, and we'll look for it on maybe the 1 hour. Let's zoom out and have a look. Here it is. What is it? Yeah, so this is just the backside of the historical zone that was respected. See, I'm gonna have to go back to find out where these areas move. Okay, so here we had an area. We had an area here, and I'm drawing this one off here because this is where kind of price kind of returned from. It was finally removed by this here. You can see that we have the move that went through it, and the area of consolidation prior to that. It could be that, but it's not a pretty one, so I would probably go this one here. This one looks nicer because it's just a clearer kind of sprint, pause, sprint. Price tested once. We went to the beginning. We went down to here, which is the beginning of the sell zone for that area, because this is where price retreated from. Once, twice, three times, and then price cut through it very quickly. So there's something you can't see on this time frame, but there's something around here. Let's just go like that, and then we'll have a look at it, see if we can find out exactly what it is that price turned on. It goes even a little bit lower. Okay, so we've got that area there. This one is gone. Let's go to the 5 minute. I think we'll have to go down to in order to find it. So if we go all the way back now to those tests, here it is. Zoom out, zoom in, so you can find out what it was. And there's not a whole lot there, is there? We have, yeah, here we have a continuation pattern. Here we have something else down here. This is not like beautiful stuff. Here we have sideways price movement and then a cutaway candle. Yeah, but it's not anything too terribly beautiful. So if we go back out to the hourly and look, so this is the first one. Did price get down to the dotted line? We did not get down there. Got pretty close, but I mean, price stayed at this area, this continuation pattern here. We tested it once, we went into it, and we started to move away. But this one is tested for a second time, and this is currently still holding. Okay, so this one could offer some support, but price has gone through it, so I'm expecting price to move down, especially if we start to see lower highs moving down into that area. And what I like to see most of all is when price has a sharp run down to an area. I'll do it here, run to it, and then we sit on it. This would lead me to believe that price is gnawing away at the liquidity in this area here, which will likely result in price doing this, testing the backside of the area, and continuing lower. So that's what may happen. But I think for the time being, I mean, we're moving off these of this area here. It's not a pretty area, but it is the edge of this this sell zone for this area of supply that removed this demand. It's pretty ugly if you look at it. This isn't textbook stuff, and there's on the Euro Swiss franc there's always loads of gaps, as you can see, all over the place, which make it a pretty unaesthetic pair to look at on a chart because of these weekend gaps and session gaps. But this is where it went. And so, yeah, maybe we'll have a bit of a move away from this area here. Price went a little bit deeper into it. You can see here we had this one, we tested this one tested this one, this one tested this one, this one tested this one. So price has already been back up into this area here. The only place where we have not had price back to is kind of from around this area and up. So price may visit these highs before it continues lower. But we'll have to wait and see. Price didn't quite get there, but maybe we'll have a bit of a pullback down into the area here that is responsible for removing this, which is responsible for moving price below these lows and taking out this area of demand. Let's have a look. Tested a couple of times and price finally moved through it. The area that did it, the white candle before, is around here. You can see the white candles just there. Price gapped into it and then went higher. Okay, so this might give us a bit of a challenge. Price did manage to move through it, so we might see price move to, I don't know, anywhere in here. So we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, but that's what I have for the Euro Swiss franc. I hope it helped, John. Any other questions, please drop them in the forum. Thanks.